Well, if you know who I am and the kind of personality that I have, you know that video games is sort of a big part of my life, I guess. It's something that I do almost daily, is playing video games. Sort of has become a habit that has become too frequent, and it's not good, but, you know, I have a lot of familiarity with video games, and I wanted to talk about what my favorite video game is, and why I personally think it is such a masterpiece, and why I think you yourself should also play it. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the amazing game known online and in this world and in America as The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now, the game came out in the year 2000, and it was actually a game that only had a year of development, and that's why it has this 3-day cycle. I'll explain the game further later, but the developers only had 1 year to make this game because they needed a new game to come out, and they didn't have much time to make it. So they made this one, and it just happened to be my favorite game. Now, what is the game? The game is about Link, like all of the Legend of Zelda games. Weird thing is, though, Zelda in this game only appears once, but she's not the person you're saving. You're saving the world. Or, I guess you could say Termina, because that's the only area that you're in for the game. So, you get to a place named Termina, and your horse is stolen, so that's pretty sad. But in Termina, you look above you, and oh dear, there's a moon with a face on it. And enough talking to different people, you find out later on the final day that the moon is gonna crash into the earth. But then you get this Ocarina of Time. It allows you to go back in time to the first 3 days before any of that stuff happened, and it allows you to correct your mistakes and to progress further into the game. And the aim of the game is to release these 4 giants to hold up the moon so that you can go inside it, and so that you can kill the Majora's Mask, which is an ancient evil thing. Just a mask that contains pure evil. Sounds really weird and really bizarre. That's why I love it. But it also sounds really dark, and that's one of the main things that I like about it, is its darkness. It's setting the scene that there is imminent death that's about to happen, and it shows a lot of scenes of people just accepting this death. They know it's gonna happen, and they can't really do anything to prepare. They're already going to have a ceremony on the 3rd day, but will they even be able to have that with the moon crashing? And so they are just accepting their own fates, and not everyone is like this, of course. There's a lot of panic, but ultimately there's nothing that they can do. But, of course, I also like the gameplay itself. I love the dungeons in the game, and they're so simple yet so complex at the same time. It's really beautiful the way that the dungeons work in the game. I also love all the different side quests, and one of the main things that you do in the game, it's not necessary, but you can collect these masks. You can collect these, I think it's 24 different masks that have different effects on you. There's a bomb mask that allows you to blow up things, stone mask allows you to be invisible, and then there's the 4 main ones, which is the Goron, Zora, the Deku, and the Fierce Deity. And they allow you to transform into the 3 different races in the game, and then one of them is sort of a special upgrade for Link. Now, of course, another reason why the game is so great is because, like I said earlier, Princess Zelda isn't in the game. And so it's great because you don't have to deal with the basic dynamic of saving the princess, or I don't really know what Zelda is. I think she's a princess, but I'm honestly not too sure. But you don't have to go through that dynamic, but the threat is much bigger. It's the world. And ultimately, that is sort of the threat that's posed in every Zelda game, but we're mainly focused on saving Zelda, and the world kind of is a secondary thing. It's just a little extra that we get to save on top of that. But in this game, you're focused on saving the whole world. It's a big ask that you're being told, but it's fun to be able to push through the struggles of this game. And I love this game so much. I've beaten it 10 times, probably more than 10 times, more than I could count on both of my hands. It's just such an amazing game, tells an amazing story, and I just love everything about it. I would encourage you to purchase your own copy of Majora's Mask. However, the copy that I have is a counterfeit copy. I didn't know that it was until I started watching this one YouTube channel that talks about that kind of stuff, and turns out it's counterfeit. So I would recommend you not to get a counterfeit copy. Instead, you can go to Game Exchange or GameStop if they sell those there. But I would recommend purchasing your game from DK Oldies because they specialize in not selling counterfeit products. So go buy the game, play it on the N64, and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoy this video, let me know if there's anything I can do to improve on my speech. I know I'm stuttering a lot, but other than that, I think that about covers everything I wanted to say in this video. And as always, my signature catchphrase, you always know what it is. I will crack your little eggs in the next video. Alright, peace out.